Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Frank Hawks, and today we have a lot to talk about as far as Star Citizen is concerned. Um, as far as a lot of things are concerned, you might notice what I plan to do. I'm trying to figure out different ways to sort of script out my videos. This will be attempt 5, I believe. This will be the 5th iteration of this video. One I even posted, but I didn't like what I said about somebody I'm trying to recommend, or the way I said it more specifically. So this video is probably going to be a little herky-jerky, like a couple of the last videos have been. I know you're probably getting tired of that. It's just I haven't figured out what it is exactly that's going on that's creating the herky-jerky, sluggy sloppiness of the videos. So I apologize for that in advance. We, of course, are at the Roberts Space Industries webpage, and we have some shit to cover. So the price point for the Drake Interplanetary Kraken came out, and it came out to be about around $1,400 or above. Now, I was excited about this product because Cloud Imperium, Mr. Roberts, and of course the Roberts Space Industries webpage made it clear that they would be increasing the price in the future. And so I thought, maybe, oh yeah, and that you could buy the Kraken off of the credits that you already had with lifetime insurance. And I thought, oh my God, finally, the message has gotten out. Finally, Mr. Roberts and Cloud Imperium have come to their senses and have begun the reciprocation. Finally, we're beginning to see the price drops that we've been looking forward to. That maybe the Kraken would be something that I could afford. But no, the Kraken ended up being $1,400 to I think it was $1,680. Mind you, everything is sold out now, so we can't go back and check. But it would have been nice if we could have, and I'm fairly disappointed in you guys. Of course, we've looked at this page before. We've talked over this page before. And with the talk of the future increase, excuse me, coffee necessary. Oh yeah. It shows that they have not received the message, that the reciprocation has not begun, and that there are problems. And of course, the last time I did a video like this, I was very upset. I didn't do my research. I'm pretty sure I didn't just put my foot in my mouth. I swallowed my leg a little bit there. But that's generally what happens. I am the kind of a person who reacts from an emotional place first. And then later on, whenever I'm done being emotional, I become more clear thinking and go, oh, wait, I should probably research before I talk. And so I decided, you know what? Let's find out. Let's find out how much money Cloud Imperium has made off of Star Citizen and its subsequent sales at this point. And I'm going to tell you right now that that research is inconclusive because there are a lot of people who have their own opinions, but nobody who has any concrete data, which is sad, to say the least. Pardon me. There may be quite a bit of yawning during the course of this video. The reason why is because it is about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I came home last night from work at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I probably got 3, maybe 3.5 hours sleep before sending the kiddies off to school, which is where they are currently. I'm very proud to learn the fact that my daughter is interested in yoga. That makes me happy in a way that I can't even explain to you. So, yeah, I had high hopes for the Kraken. When I look at the Kraken, I don't just see a ship. I see a burgeoning story. I see yeah, it would take me a little while to explain, but I do see a complete story that deeply interests me and that I was motivated to write. Um, and I know that that may not make a lot of sense to you, but whenever you're a writer, like I am, even though I'm very bad at grammar and very bad at a lot of things, um, where writing is concerned, like, spelling complicated words that I try to write and then can't figure out. And then the LibreOffice is like, I don't know what this word is. And I end up having to go to dictionary.com or Google itself to be able to figure out how to appropriately spell things. It gets a little frustrating, but I do get the job done. And I had this whole story in my head, and the price point just sort of ruined that for me. It was like there was this beautiful decorative stained glass thing, and the price point was the hammer that smashed it. I am very disappointed, honestly. Yes, I will admit I am a little jealous of those of you who were able to acquire one. Yes, I'm aware it's not out yet, but I was very excited at the prospect of sitting down and looking at something in the size of a capital ship and talking about the various decks and being entertained at the very nuanced way, or lack of nuanced way, in which Drake Interplanetary comes at things. I know it's been said that Drake is the company that gives you more than you pay for, but the opposite is what's true. Okay? If you've ever spent any real time looking at the deck mapping of a Drake Interplanetary Caterpillar, you know what I'm talking about. There are various areas where personal crew quarters could fit, and instead bullshit is there. But hey. So anyways, it's still an awesome ship. The price point was still very low. There's still a lot going for this ship, and I really wish that it wasn't sold out. And I do still wish that I could have had afford it. But honestly, if I had a spare $1,400 or more, I would use it to pay bills, because I have a wife and children and responsibilities, and I am an adult, and I have to think about those adult responsibilities. Yes, there are times whenever I wish I could afford to spend more on YouTube, but the simple fact of the matter is I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I have things I have to look at and take care of. So anyways, I went and I did this research, and we'll talk about the Anvil Valkyrie here in a minute. I went and I did this research, and honestly, there isn't an answer, but here are the things that I did find out. And this has nothing to do with Star Citizen for now, for this instant. For instance, Elite Dangerous started its project in 2012 and published in 2015. And that game is expansive. There are a lot of planets that you can land on and go and do things on. There are a lot of aspects in Star Citizen that you will find in Elite Dangerous. Just maybe not as artistically done. Whereas on the other hand, Cloud Imperium started the project of Star Citizen in 2011, and we're still in very early alpha. 7 years later. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that Cloud Imperium and Chris Roberts have made somewhere in the ballpark of about $100 million off of Star Citizen and the promises that they've kept. Okay? And that it has taken 7 years, which it has, to get to where we are now, which really isn't anywhere. So a year ago, there was this scene playing out, I believe, at CitizenCon, in which there was a crew, a Ursa, inside of the cargo bay of a Constellation Andromeda, and the Constellation Andromeda was beginning to taxi away from Levski and go and begin the procedures for leaving the planet, which really aren't much of anything. You aim up and you push your engines as hard as you can without exploding. And they were taking a sort of long way to do that so that they could kind of show off that the planet was actually there, that there wasn't like some invisible wall or loading screen or some BS like that. Excuse me. Yawning. And Chris Roberts says, and mind you, I cannot do a Chris Roberts impression. I know at this point you expect me to do specific voices, but there is something about Mr. Roberts' voice that I cannot mimic. So anyways, Mr. Roberts says, if you look over there, that crater over there is approximately the size of the entire map of Skyrim. And people laughed and applauded and cheered and were happy and all that stuff. But here's the problem. And we'll get to that. Just 1 second. So the good people, because I'm looking at my scripting stuff. So the good people at Bethesda and ZeniMax, for the size of the map that they had, they packed in a tremendous amount of content. I've seriously thought about just sitting down, playing an orc, and going through all of it as I would as an orc, which is not the atypical way, and just go through the entire content episodically. But honestly, right now my video content isn't the best, and I really wish it was better, but I don't know what the hiccup or the problem is, and so that prohibits doing those episodic videos. Anyways, coffee good. Coffee is my friend. Oh, I love you, coffee. For that same map area, there is no content. There is, of course, the mission manager, and the mission manager is about as broken as it's ever been. Everything is on a timer, which is ridiculous, especially considering the huge amount of space that there is and how long it takes to get to places, especially whenever you want to only jump to the area, when you don't want to jump to those little additional points that you can jump to, that you want to take your time and really view the place that you're in and really enjoy it and take in the sights and the sounds and the smells. Well, not the smells. And really enjoy your time and play as though it were actual space. Okay? If this were actual space, in reality, you wouldn't jump to the planet and then to a secondary location closer to where you're going. You would actually have to take the time and orbit. Okay? And that's just how that operates. Okay? Because it's a tremendous waste of energy otherwise. And so it becomes very difficult to enjoy the content. And also, we have the beginnings of the reputation system, which means pretty much if you don't complete a mission within the time parameters allotted, you pretty much don't ever get to see that kind of a mission again. Trust me, I know. I have failed every mission under the goddamn fucking sun due to a goddamn timer. It makes it next to impossible to earn a living. Okay? And it's not how I would operate if I had the choice. Anyways. So, very little content. Huge mapping. And I'm not just talking about the planets, which are actually there. You can actually circumvent the planet in both directions and in any which way that you want, that planet is there with no load screens. You can enter the atmosphere, you can land, you can mine, you can pirate, you can broker deals, you can freelance, you can do whatever it is that you want, take off from that planet, go to a completely different solar system, maybe for the sake of argument, on the other side of the galaxy, even though it's not there yet, and land on another planet, even though it's not there yet, and finish your mission, even though it's not there yet, and enjoy yourself completely, even though it's not there yet. Right now, we have 7 years in, we still have pretty much the Crusader system. And whenever Cloud Imperium is talking about a system, they are talking about a planet and the moons around it. They're not talking about the full solar system like they used to be. And that might be a mistake. It may be a slip of the tongue. They might not mean that exactly. But we have the Hurston planet and subsequent moons coming out here in 3.3. You can actually go there and do things and and will be the first planet in which we will have a breathable atmosphere, people. Be excited. Be very excited, even though the environment is toxic and you will probably get lung cancer and you will probably die terribly alone. Anyways, so, next to no content, huge, tremendous mapping, over $100 million, just for the sake of argument, just for the sake of debate, I should say. Because honestly, if you do know, I want to see your work, I want to see your research, and I want to see it in the comments in either a comment format or in a video format. Now, that's pretty much a failure as far as games are concerned. In 7 years, there should be so much content, especially for the size of Cloud Imperium and the number of its employees and personnel, and the huge number of ships that we have, and the vast amount of space that we have. There should be so much content, we should be drowning in it, okay? We should be lost in Star Citizen. There wouldn't be videos if this was done correctly. There would be like a monthly video. Yeah, we're good. There's lots of super... You got to do stuff. Okay, but it's not being done correctly. So at this point in time, Cloud Imperium and Star Citizen and Mr. Roberts, you guys get a fail. This is an F. Okay? I want to see a 3,000 word essay on my desk by Monday morning. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, because your grade level right now, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but on this project, Mr. Roberts, I'm going to have to give you an F, and you're going to have to do extracurricular work to make it up. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Please leave my classroom. Let's talk about the Anvil Valkyrie. Oh, sweet Jesus Christ. Okay, before I do this, anybody who is military personnel who might see this video, if you have the time, the opportunity, and your CO's permission, please go and show what an actual troop transport looks like and what it's capable of. Okay? I'm an Army brat. If there's anybody from the U.S. Army seeing this, please, for the love of the United States Army, show us what a real troop transport looks like and behaves like, because this is not it. Okay? First of all, there are a handful of things that you might see on a troop transport. The ability to carry cargo, the ability to carry vehicles, the ability to carry people, the ability to carry I pretty much said cargo, but in that cargo you will find food, water, medical supplies, ammunition. Very frequently on a troop transport, you will see a combat medic or more, depending on the size of that troop transport, meaning that there are medical supplies and capabilities on said vehicle. Okay? And of course, if you're currently in the military, I tried to join the military, I tried to join the Army Oh, it feels like a lifetime ago. Whenever I was 21, and I just physically and mentally could not keep up. Those guys were on a different level than me, and I was not able to do anything about it. But let's go over the Anvil Valkyrie. The Anvil Valkyrie is, of course, capable of hauling people, personnel of all walks of life to the tune of, let's see here, there's the pilot, there's the two remote gunnery stations, which you can find on the wings. There is the above and below gunnery stations. I did not mean to press play, excuse me. There is, of course, the ability to haul vehicles, but no cargo, no medical capabilities at all whatsoever. And I am going to state at this time that I am extremely disappointed. Wow, that's a lot of pirates. Extremely disappointed at this juncture that there are no medical personnel. I know that Mr. Roberts, what he wants is for players to have their own skill levels and stuff like that. But it would be really nice if each of us could be able to select maybe not a skill set, but a tool set. Okay, like, sure, all of us can shoot a gun and our first person skills are what they are. But say, for instance, you could throw a belt on your outfit that allowed you to be able to do some specific things that maybe other people could not. It's not necessarily a class. It's just, while you're wearing this belt, it has a specific set of tools that are more beneficial to one purpose than another. For instance, combat medic, mechanic. Hold on, I got a drink. And so on and so forth. Right. So currently, these are the price points of the Anvil Valkyrie. Guys, the Anvil Valkyrie is in and about around the size of a Cutlass Black. And I know there are a lot of us... Okay, go away now. I know there are a lot of us who are a little sick and tired of seeing the Cutlass Black. Some of us are waiting on the Cutlass Red. We're wondering why things aren't going as well as we expected for the medical profession and all of that. But guys, it's not worth it. Okay, I've tried to buy this thing several different ways in a way that I can afford to spend money on it. And it's not happening. My phone is going off in the other, it doesn't matter. I cannot either buy it directly with my credits, which again is a spit in the face of the people who have invested in you, Mr. Roberts. That those credits represent a financial support from us. I used to regularly go and buy gift cards and then refund them to myself because you don't have an official way to add credits. And those credits represent a financial investment in you and your dream and your game. And we've covered this. And yet still, if it's a new product, you don't have any hope at all whatsoever of spending old money on a new product, which is bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, the Anvil Valkyrie that is incapable of carrying cargo in any capacity and doesn't really have any medical facilities at all whatsoever is a fail. Don't buy it. Don't invest in it. It's not worth your time. Okay, moving on. I know usually this would be the end of the video, but moving on. I want you to go check this person out. This is Pushing Up Roses. I love her content. She is an incredible person. She just recently covered some of the darker corners of her life. And honestly, it takes a brave person to be able to talk about either their personal problems or the darker corners of their lives or the troubles that they have gone through. Excuse me. Pardon me. I don't mean to be belching at this particular increment. The belching video is next time. I know. But I am a recent subscriber of her. I really enjoy her content. It's honestly about older games and older things, though Unavowed. I just recently watched this, and I really liked what was said about it. And the second I have the spare $15, I'm going to go get that on Steam, and I'm going to play the crap out of it. Because I used to play the kind of games that she talks about, which are adventure-type games. And I really enjoy the Rocky Interactive Horror Show. Oh my. Why wasn't I informed? Nobody talked to me. What the hell? Anyways, go check out her stuff. She deserves at least a like on a video. She deserves at least a subscription from those of you who enjoy her content. So anyways, that being said, and taken care of, recently I noticed that my Drake Interplanetary Kraken video has almost 100 views on it. Oh my god, guys. I haven't ever had 100. Well, no, I probably had 100 views on something, but it was old enough that I wasn't aware of it, no longer paying attention to it, or have probably deleted it. This is the most recent content that I've put out that has over 100 views on it. Thank you guys so very much. But it would be nice if I had a few more subscribers. And please, if you like this video, the video that you're currently watching, not the video that the pointer is currently on. If you like this video, please give a like. If you like my content, please give a subscribe. You all have a lovely day. And in the interim, remember, it's probably going to be like 2050 before Star Citizen officially comes out. So, what do I have? Do I have any money at all? I have a dime. I've got a dime that I'm betting right now says that Star Citizen will come out in 2050, and it will not be anything in comparison to games near it. Look, whenever I first came to Star Citizen, I was hopeful. I was dreaming about what was possible and what was trying to be achieved. I just never thought for an instant that how the game looked would be so goddamned important to Mr. Roberts or Cloud Imperium, because that's what's making it take so long. I'm willing to bet you $5 that if some indie group of individuals decided to sit down and make a similar game on a similar level, just with somewhat older graphics, okay, in an older style or in an older way, that it would still be as good of a game, okay? And it doesn't matter how good it looks, okay? That's a fucking trap right there by itself. How good it looks should be the second thought, not the first thought, okay? And guys, listen, I know you expect me to be upset. I'm tired of getting upset. I always react upset first and then think later, and I'm sorry for subjecting you to that. But anyways, guys, listen, there are other video games out there, and hopefully as soon as I figure out what's going on with my video recordings, we'll be able to sit down, we'll be able to talk, we'll be able to review things like Elder Scrolls Online and Wizards 101. I know what you're thinking. Wizards 101? Hey, I've got kids. I've got to think about what they see over my shoulder whenever I'm playing. I can't be sitting here playing Doom all day, though Lord knows I could. Anyways, guys, have fun for Christ's sake. Go out and do something fun. Get away from the computer for 5 minutes and do something fun. Hell, get on the computer for 5 minutes and do something fun. take care of each other. And I mean that. In this day and time, we don't take care of each other the way we should and have not been. We can do better, guys. Be safe. This is Captain Frank Hawks signing off.